Before the sun rose, the old man was already awake. The room was quiet and small. Soft light came through the paper window. Outside, the city was still sleeping. He sat on the floor and listened to the silence. This was his favorite time of day. A time when nothing rushed him. Slowly, he stood up and walked to the kitchen. He filled the kettle with water. He placed it on the stove and waited. While the water warmed, he looked at the clock. It was still early. There was no need to hurry. He took a small cup from the shelf. It was old and slightly cracked. He had used it for many years. As the water began to boil, a soft sound filled the room. It felt calm. It felt familiar. He poured the hot water into the cup. Steam rose gently into the air. He held the cup with both hands. The warmth touched his fingers. It reminded him that he was still here, still alive, still breathing. He walked back to the window and sat down. Outside, the sky was slowly changing color. Dark blue turned into soft orange. He took a small sip of tea. It was bitter, but comforting. Just the way he liked it. Every morning, he drank tea like this. Before the sun came up. Before the noise of the day began. This was his quiet moment. A moment only for him. As he sat there, memories came gently into his mind. Not all at once. One by one. He remembered his wife. How she used to wake up early too. How she would smile at him without saying a word. They did not talk much in the mornings. They did not need to. Silence was enough. He remembered their small home. The sound of her footsteps. The way she poured tea for him. Those mornings were long gone. But the feeling stayed. He looked down at his hands. They were old now. Thin and tired. These hands had worked for many years. They had built things. They had held loved ones. Now, they only held a cup of tea. And that was enough. Outside, a bird sang softly. The city slowly began to wake up. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Life had not been easy. There had been loss. There had been pain. But there had also been love. And that mattered. He opened his eyes again. The sun was almost here. The sky was brighter now. He finished the last sip of tea. The cup was empty, but his heart felt full. Soon, the day would begin. People would walk fast. Cars would make noise. But for this moment, everything was still. He placed the cup down gently. He stood up and stretched his back. Another morning was complete. Another quiet victory. He looked at the rising sun and smiled. Just a small smile. Because sometimes, one cup of tea, before sunrise, is enough to remind us that life is still beautiful.